How we doing, ladies and gents? Welcome to another Ghost Kiwi vlog. First off, let me say thank you to everyone who has subscribed and watches these little videos of mine. You're all amazing for sticking with me this far. Thank you for sticking with me this far. I am working on my editing, so I'm going to be maybe trying a few new things with this video. I'm hoping, and please excuse me if we're looking down, I do actually have a little script written up with all the information that I need for this video, so if you do see me like that, I'm just reading straight off here. I'm hoping to have a theme song for these videos in the not too distant future. I do have a friend of mine who I may have slightly cajoled and convinced into making me a theme song. If that person does do it, I will link to their YouTube down below. Please make me that song. Please do it. Anyway, I am also still looking for someone to maybe do me a little graphic for the beginning and end of these videos. Like I said in my very first one, I'm not exactly artistic. Yeah, I'm just not artistic at all. So yeah, I am looking for someone that might do that for me. Shout out, that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, this video is just a nice, simple little one that I did promise you earlier, the Waco video. So what we're going to do is, I should actually say, I'm going to try and make some of these little sit-down chat type videos a little more entertaining for you guys, maybe by just being a little bit more like myself. That self may not be the sort of person that you want to watch, because yeah, my humour can be a little bit shaky at times. So yeah. My next few videos, you might see a change in the way I do things. Let me know down below what you think of those changes when they come around. But for the time being, let's talk about the Waco Siege. Let's start with a little bit of background, shall we? That's always needed for this sort of thing. Branch Davidians, also known as Branch Davidian Seventh-day Adventists, were formed in 1955 after a split between the Shepherd's Rod and the Davidians group. Initially, the branch, as they were also known, they were led by a gentleman by the name of Benjamin Rodden. R-O-D-E-N, pronounce it how you like. The basis for their beliefs centered mostly around, essentially centered around the second coming of Christ, which, I mean, each their own. We can believe what we want. If you don't believe them, good on you. If you do, good on you as well. Thumbs up either way. But during the late 1980s, a smaller group led by a man by the name of David Koresh started to abandon those main teachings of the branch. During this time, Koresh proclaimed himself as being the final prophet. So the last guy before Christ came. It sounded really rude. I didn't mean that. The last prophet before Christ actually turned up, if you will. This then led to a further split. There were those who stuck with Benjamin Rodden and those who followed David Koresh, also known as the Koreshians. This split led to a number of nasty shootouts between Rodden's group, the Davidians, and the Koreshians. Now, at this time, Rodden's Davidians, as we'll call them, or Rodians, no, just with Rodden's Davidians. Rodden's Davidians had a complex known as Mount Carmel, which was east or northeast of Waco, Texas. It was known as Mount Carmel. This was taken over, during these shootouts, this area was taken over by the Koreshians. So literally they came in, pretty much just said, right, sod off, this is ours. And from that point on, became run by the Koreshians. So let's skip to February of 1993. During February, the ATF and the Texas National Guard raided the Koreshian compound, Mount Carmel, outside of Waco, Texas, on suspected weapons charges. Now, this particular raid led to a 2-hour firefight. So obviously, the weapons weren't just suspected, they were actually there, obviously, in which 4 ATF agents were killed. From here, things just spiraled completely out of control. It turned into a 51-day siege. Now, that siege ended in David Koresh and at least 81, numbers do vary a bit depending on what source you go by, of course. But according to my source, Wikipedia, thank you very much, it was David Koresh and 81 of his followers. That's men, women, and children. Explain to me this, folks. Why? I know you'd like your children to follow the same line as you do. I know that's why people who aren't into the various religions will say to the children, okay, you need to follow this, you need to this, you need to do that. This is your God, that's your God. But why wouldn't you release your children when this sort of thing's going on? It just beggars belief, really. I mean, come on, these are kids. These are your children. These are your spawn. These are the ones who you want to carry in your name, and yet you draw them into these just senseless crap. Essentially, that's all it is. That we're not going to get into too much of that. That's personal stuff. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? Even if it's wrong. But it's not wrong because it's what you believe is right. So, whatever. So yeah, men, women, children, and Koresh himself. Now, it's stated that during the final, moment of that firefight, or that siege, sorry, that tear gas was fired into the building as well as being pumped into the building, and it's believed that, well, actually, we won't go too far with that, but basically a fire started, and that is what is believed to have caused the death of Koresh and his followers. So the controversy behind it all, or what's the conspiracy behind it all? Various people claim that the FBI and the ATF seriously overreacted. This first overreaction came at Ruby Ridge, which slightly separate thing, but at the same time part of the overall conspiracy here. When they performed a similar raid at the Ruby Ridge Ranch, we can go into that if you like, as like a next video or a mini video if you like. And these guys, as always, overreacted. The FBI referred to Koresh and his followers as being insane, which sanity is a fairly relative thing, isn't it? We're all a little, But they refer to them as being insane, and that's one of the reasons why they acted like they did, to get in there and push to shut everything down. The problem being is that the FBI used psychological warfare techniques. They were blasting loud, obnoxious music at the compound day and night, constant sound of helicopters hovering low overhead, all that sort of thing. That's enough to drive anyone nuts. Especially if it's like Justin Bieber or something, but thank God for those people he wasn't born then. Sorry to any Bieber fans I have out there, please don't unfollow me. See, that's going to drive people a little more nutty, right? Psychological warfare. Look into that. That's some of the techniques that they use are amazing. Guantanamo Bay, for example, well known for its use of psychological warfare. Apparently, they used a mix of, in terms of music, used a mix of Britney Spears and Metallica. Personally, I wouldn't mind Metallica. Britney Spears, on the other hand, I would have given up any information they wanted within minutes. That's just me personally, though. So anyway, when the final attack turned deadly, the government authorities, so the FBI, ATF, etc., decided to close ranks and try and cover up anything that they did wrong, and also the real cause of the fire. When don't these people try and cover up what they've done wrong? It sounds like any government really, doesn't it? So anyway, the main bone of contention is that fire. Now the FBI states, once again, this is a government department, so on and so forth, I think I'm slowly making my views pretty clear on that sort of thing. They state that the fire was intentionally set by Koresh and his followers as a final act of mass suicide, so that they wouldn't be taken in and punished for what they did or what was going on. But then there are those, and this sounds a little more likely to me at least. May not sound likely to you, but once again, there's a number of theories out there that the fire was actually started by the FBI. Could have been intentionally, could have been unintentionally. because what they were doing is they were pumping CS gas, so pepper spray gas, into the buildings using modified Bradley fighting vehicles, I think it was. Yeah, that sounds about right. Modified vehicles specifically for use of CS gas. So they were pumping that into the building, straight into buildings that way. They were using CS grenades. And you got to remember that these are wooden buildings. I will try and insert a picture of the buildings here somewhere. Properly. Now, these were wooden buildings. So you're pumping a highly flammable gas in, right? Now, what happens when you mix highly flammable gases and things like sparks from firearms and detonation caps from flashbang grenades, stun grenades? Fire, maybe, it kind of sounds right, bang, bang, boom, all that sort of thing. Now, reading through on, I think it was thermal imaging videos, which I haven't been able to find any yet myself, you could actually see gunfire inside the buildings as they were pumping this gas into them. Now, that's the thing, right? Sorry, tapping quite loud there. There were firefighters on hand, of course, but, and this is the really unusual thing, firefighters weren't allowed to approach the buildings, right? Firefighters, guys who are meant to be there to save people, doesn't matter what they've done, they've got to save people, it's their job. They weren't allowed access to the buildings until the buildings were nothing but ash. Sound a little strange to you? Sounds strange to me. So what's the reason for not letting those guys do their job? Well, some of the autopsies that were performed found that there were bodies with crush injuries similar to those as though they'd been flattened or run over. And not only that, some of the children's bodies were found actually, locked, rigor mortis imposed, similar to that of people who had been poisoned with cyanide gas, which cyanide can be produced by burning CS gas. That's why CS is so nasty. It actually becomes cyanide, one of the most poisonous substances to us. I could be wrong, there could be other stuff out there. I mean, any poison is seriously poisonous to us, isn't it, if it can kill us? So yeah, I mean, it seems a little strange that the firefighters weren't allowed in. Why have them there? But anyway, that's Waco for you. I mean, in conclusion, this is really another case where, and there are many, many more cases where, of course, a government department, in this case, an American governmental department, has had a hand in a major event involving a group that's classified as a cult or classified as being crazy, insane, etc., and not taking responsibility for the outcome of events. It was basically their handling of the situation, the measures that they took, that caused things to just go way over the top. Yeah, sure, the Branch Davidians may have fired first. We don't know. Could have been the authorities that fired first. We don't know. But end of the day, though, isn't it up to these people who are meant to be making, decisions for the greater good to handle things a little more properly? So, I mean, the thing is also that apparently, once again, no real proof, apparently the Oklahoma bombing, which some of you may remember, which if you like we can touch on that later on down the track, that happened exactly 2 years after the siege at Waco, or the Carmel compound. I just find it, once again, unusual that, these things are going on. That these things, these government departments are right there when all this sort of stuff happens. as with the Jonestown mass suicide, I will let you folk decide on what way you're going to go with it. If you'd like a little more information, we can do yet another video on it. I mean, all these things tend to sort of snowball into other events. So this one started off with Ruby Ridge, became Waco, which is more well known, and then apparently moved on to the Oklahoma bombing, which then led to another and another and another. And it's always the same groups, the FBI and the CIA. They're always there no matter what. But anyway, folks, that's the Waco Siege for you. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, let me know what you think I should cover next. Give me any ideas. The best idea, I'll give a shout out in the next video. But for now, folks, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Smack the hell out of that notification bell so that you all know when the next video is. I know that some of you have not been doing that. Do it. But for now, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye. So that's the thing. I've actually got to say this in the main video. If you've got any ideas as to things you'd like me to talk about, things you'd like to see me do, even if it's like a day out somewhere sort of thing, you know, wandering around, spending time with my partner, you know, or you know, even just, you know, having a bit of, you know, playtime with my animals. Let me know. This isn't just my channel; it's your channel as well. I'm your dancing, singing monkey. Please let me know. I will run out of ideas occasionally and not have any clue as to what to film for you. So yeah, just drop a comment down below on one of my videos. You get in touch with me somehow. Let me know what you'd like me to do. But apart from that, have a good evening, folks.